Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is another tier list. I was gonna say Overwatch tier list, but I don't do that many. I did this for Dead by Daylight and the Killers, and I figured Overwatch would be a pretty interesting one. How well could they take care of a Victorian child? Obviously, a Victorian child needs a lot of care. Can't be out in the rain. Can't get a cough. Can't be fed the wrong thing because they could probably just spontaneously combust or whatever the equivalent to the back in the day is. But yeah, so what could these Overwatch characters could they actually take care of a child? And let's see. So same rules apply that I normally do here on the tier list thing. We try to make these as equal as possible. Makes it a little bit easier to not just load one category up completely. So let's go up. Tracer. Tracer for sure would zoom around and drop that kid and it would crack. Like that kid would for sure be dead in Tracer's arms. I mean, what are we saying? Like, she could be zooming through. She's not going to be careful. That feint is going to go splat. She just needs to drop it once, and that feint's probably gone for her. So, yeah, definitely D tier. I would maybe put her in the bottom. I don't know why this is E. What, like, who puts E? That's not even a real grade. Um, but I feel like she might go further down, but I think D is, one of those safe spots to put her. Symmetra. Symmetra's kind of an interesting one because I feel like she would be pretty solid, but she also seems very invested in doing other stuff. But I feel like if like there was enough of if she had like enough you know I guess motivation to take care of this small Victorian child that she would take care of it. So I'm gonna put her in C because I feel like she would take care of it. Um, yeah, I think that would be the best way to put her. She could possibly move up. The teleport feint also could be scary because that could like hit the corners. The turrets could accidentally go off. There's quite a bit that could possibly knock points down from Symmetra. But for now, I think that's safe. C. Next up is Pharah. I don't know. Somebody flying around does not seem like the best person. I think overall Pharah could probably not do as bad, but I feel like she wouldn't be the greatest. I'm gonna put her in C. I feel like she should slip down to D, but we might have a pretty heavy bottom of this list. So unfortunately, the future of my mother of my child. So hopefully we don't have a Victorian child. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I hope we don't have a small Victorian child or it's dead. Next up though is Hanzo. Hanzo seems like he wouldn't be the worst at it. Obviously, he didn't protect his brother and killed him, but like I feel like that's less about actually protecting him and stuff, and more about um, like life stuff. I feel like Hanzo would be okay. I don't think he would be the best, but I don't think he'd be the worst. I could possibly put him higher because I just like think like it's a motivation thing too. Like if there's a reason why he would. Um, I think he would be pretty solid. Reaper. I think Reaper would just kill it for fun. I'm just gonna be honest with that. I just think he would just drop it on purpose, or like I don't know. He just feels like he would purposely kill it. So definitely F for Reaper. And then the opposite, you got Winston. I feel like Winston would try to be as careful as humanly possible. Like he would be pretty solid. He's just so big that like his size just might accidentally kill it, So like I feel like he would do his best. But I think overall he would try. He would try. Next up is Torburn. He's like the only father on this whole thing, so like he should be okay. I would put Torburn in A because I feel like he might accidentally like launch it in a turret or something, but I'm pretty sure A would be pretty solid. I think he has multiple kids and they all are pretty good. They're a little pretty much like I guess like more durable, but you never know. I think A is still pretty solid. Bastion, I feel like Bastion would try to take care of it, but I think like he would struggle, because like he turns into a tank of all things, but I still feel Bastion has a stronger than anybody else below C. So we'll put him in A. He takes care of his bird. I mean, that's kind of like a small Victorian child, so it's not the worst. Mercy, I think Mercy would be S tier. I mean, she takes care of small Victorian child DPSs all the time, so like I think she would do pretty good. I think she would have enough patience and all that. And I don't know what I'm doing, right clicking stuff. Next up, we would have Brigitte. honestly, on Brigitte, I would feel like she would be pretty solid with it. Um, I'm gonna put her in S tier for now. She might slide down, but I feel like she's grown up with siblings too. I think she would be okay. I don't think she would be the worst. Next up would be Widowmaker. I feel like Widowmaker actually, if like there was a point, like if there was like a package she was protecting and it was the child, that she would do a little bit better. So I'm gonna put her in D. I don't think she'd be completely at the bottom, but like being on rooftops and stuff most of the time, it's not a good place for a child, let alone a Victorian small child. But I think D's decent. Zenyatta, I think Zenyatta would be perfect. If as long as he knew how to take care of a child in general, I think he would be pretty good. Um, he probably would have the patience and the, ability to take care of it pretty well. But I mean, hey, I think we're like about halfway, and I think we've actually had a pretty solid list. Next up would be Reinhardt. Reinhardt just seems like again somebody that would like accidentally, almost on purpose, kill it. Like it just like he would like smash it or try to put it in armor or something. He just wouldn't understand the gravity of the situation and or like even just physical gravity, and the kid would be toast. So definitely D. He could definitely go to F if I need some space too, because he seems like he would be not the best with him. Zarya. Zarya just seems middle of the road. I'll put her C. I put her C. I honestly don't know. I mean, she has the protective bubble though, actually. So I'll put her in B. I mean, she could just keep putting the protective bubble on him. So that actually could be a little bit easier. She wouldn't be able to feed him or take anything, but like, the bubble wouldn't be bad. Junkrat would have 100% landmined that kid, purposely or an accident. Either way, that kid is gone if Junkrat's taking care of him. I don't think there's any way that it doesn't end up like that. I feel like 100% that it would either be on purpose or on accident, but either way, it's 100% dead. Next up is Soldier. Soldier seems like the type that actually would take care of the kid pretty well. I'm gonna put him in A. I mean, he seems like the father of the group sometimes. I mean, he might be a little moody, but I think he probably would take care of the kid pretty solid. It just would be rough. I think you'd be a little like not knowing exactly what to do, but I think he could probably figure it out. Maybe Mercy could help him a little bit. Next up, we have Roadhog. Roadhog's an interesting one because he seems very gentle on this inside, but he's so big that I think you just have problems in general. And like if he just drops that hook anywhere near it, it's probably dead. So I'm gonna put it in C because I think he could possibly keep it alive for a little bit. Next up is McCree or Cassidy. Cassidy is kind of an interesting one. I think he's around the same long as of Hanzo. Like I think he would take care of the kid and it wouldn't completely perish, but it could be go with either way. It would be difficult. Next up we have Lucio. I feel like Lucio could go way too fast. He would like scoot it by in the air, would just like snap it or something, snap its neck or something. I don't know. D for sure for Lucio. I think like he just too much speed on him. It's gonna be bad. Next up is Diva. Diva seems absolutely terrible. It's gonna like she's gonna feed it Mountain Dew and it's gonna just die from that. F tier for sure. Even without the robot, I feel like Diva barely keeps herself alive. And she's probably the same weight of the Victorian Child, so let's put her in F tier. Next up is May. May is interesting. I feel like May would be okay. I think middle of the pack. I don't think she would be the best. Like I don't know. I do think that she. Yeah. I think I'd switch her with Bastion for the time being. I think she'd have a little bit more ability to take care of it than Bastion would, so we'll go there. Genji, I don't think Genji would take care of it at all. But where would it be? Genji, I feel like we're going to put in D also. Like, he'd try. I think he would try. Like, you'd have the ability to want to try, but I don't think he'd do that great. Another one that actually has had kids is Anna. I feel like Anna would do pretty solid. I'll put her in S tier. I mean, she's had a kid, She's got some sleeping things. I mean, that might kill the child, but if not, it would be okay. Next up is Sombra. Sombra would just lose the baby. I mean, that would be the only one that just straight up loses it. I'll put it in D. I feel like Sombra could possibly, if she puts like the tracker on it, but there's a good shot that Sombra's gonna have some rough issues with it. Ariza, I think Ariza would be like caring, but she's just so massive that there'd be possibilities. Though she has a dog, and that dog seems to have been alive. I'm gonna put her in C, and I think that's like the most we can put in C. So I think C would be a perfect spot for her. Next up, Doomfist. Doomfist just seems like you do it on purpose. I mean, just straight up, just punch the baby. He didn't even want to deal with it. He didn't sign up for this. He's gonna punch it. Next up, Mora does experiments on it. Whoops, I didn't even mean to put Hampton there, but does experiments on it for sure. Um, just yeah, it would just be brutal. Do the wrong move, hit the wrong ball, or just yeah, anything could kill it, and Mora would definitely be responsible for doing that. Next up would be Ash. I feel like Ash actually would be fairly solid as taking care of the child. It would. She's been a leader of a gang, and sometimes they're children, right? So we'll go there. We'll go that with that. Next up is Hampton. I feel like Hampton would roll it over. I don't think like he would have that much momentum to not kill it. I don't know. Yep, definitely D for Hampton. I think Hampton would roll it over. It would be pretty fast, but at least it would be over with. Next up is Baptiste. I feel like Baptiste would for sure be able to take care of the kid. I feel like he has the lamp that kind of makes it possible to, and a lot of healing ability. Definitely Baptiste up the top. Next up would be Sigma. I don't think I would trust Sigma watching a dog, so I'm gonna put Sigma in F. I feel like he would definitely kill it, accidentally or maybe wanting to because he just doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. Next up we got Echo. I think Echo could probably be pretty solid. I think like she would know, like she could tap into some computers and know how to make sure she could do everything to keep it alive. I think that would be pretty decent. Next up is Sojourn. I feel like Sojourn's solid, but I'm trying to think where she fits. Kind of running out of space, and I feel like Sojourn would be B tier. I feel like again with having like some robotic parts could possibly be an issue, but I feel like in her case, I don't think it would be as bad because I think she'd take care of it pretty solid. Junker Queen. I think Junker Queen would just leave it outside, just let it fend on its own. I think that would just be its own thing. I don't even think it would be like, oh yeah, I'll watch it, and just leave it outside. You know, I think we can all agree that would be the case. Next up would be Kyoko. I feel like she's S tier. I think she's responsible enough. She got some decent abilities to make sure it stays afloat, and always can hit it with the jug real fast to keep it immune for what, the 0.7 seconds or whatever it is now. Yeah. Ramatra would definitely enslave it and kill it. So definitely going F tier with Ramatra. I feel like that's definitely an easy one. Lifeweaver, I feel like Lifeweaver would be pretty solid, but like would he pull the baby away and like it'd go flying? I kind of think so. I'm gonna move Zarya up, and I'm gonna put Lifeweaver in B because I feel like Zarya would have a better shot with the bubble. Like out of all the abilities and stuff, I mean Lightweaver has his tree, but like that pull ability could just end it right then and there. Next up we have Alari. I think she would be pretty solid with it. I'm gonna put her in A tier because that's the last spot. I don't think she would really take out anybody on the top, but that healing pylon should definitely help her. And yeah, there we go. This is who, if you have a small Victorian child and an Overwatch character in your area, this is your guide to pick who to babysit it. Definitely the top two lanes have the best shot. The next two, you're gambling, and the bottom two, I guess you didn't want it. But until next time, bye guys.